I see us going that way.
You've all muted yourself. I love it. Pin me as your number one. Look at my world here. It's beautiful, isn't it? Let's get started. So these are your exercises. Like I said, 3 rounds. We'll see how we go on time because the first round is going to be warming up and going through the motions and practicing the movement. Each round has its own muscle group. So you have the legs, lots of lovely legs, the buttocks, and then you've got arms and abs all merged into the last one. Okay, so we have 4 exercises per round as well. We're looking at a minute each exercise. I'm going to give you a bit of a breather to set yourself up, but let's go through our exercises. So let's start with our first exercise, skier squats. Position of skier squats is you want to keep it quite tight if you can. That means no further than hip width apart, okay? You're going to have your weights, or you can have a kettlebell if you like. I'm just going to demonstrate first of all so you can get a gist of it. It actually works better with the weight. So I'm going to sit back and swing my arms up. So just practice, tighten the abs, sit back, feet no wider hip width apart. So you've got a nice tight squat position. Arms go up, hips go back. Okay, and you're going to bring into the swing. So if you're using free weight, now show me, because I'm warm, so I don't need to get warmed up. The idea is when you start using weights in the mix, you're really challenging your core. The weights don't want to go over shoulder height. For example, sit back in it. Build up momentum. If you're struggling to get your bum back and you're finding that you're slightly bringing your knees forward, go toes out slightly. So instead of toes facing forward, toes rotate slightly out. Try and keep that tight squat. Problem is, if we go wider, you're going to find it hard to get the weights by the side of you. Keep going. How are we doing? Lovely. So then our next movement is either using your plate if you can, or, so one foot has your plate on, and you're going to go into that slide to side. So you have the plate on the leg that's extending out, you drag it in, keep it close, out and in. If you don't have the discs, simple step and in will do. Step and in if you don't have the discs. So other side, toes facing forward. Maybe the supporting leg toes slightly outwards to get yourself deeper into that slide out position. Take your bum back. Let's turn it around so you can see a different viewpoint. So the slide is nearest to you. And sliding the leg out. Again, nice, good form here. Sitting your bum into it, keep your tummy in tight. Drag the foot. If you haven't already, switch sides over. So again, I'm just demonstrating. When we go live, to do the actual activities together on a timer, we're going to do, I think we'll do 2 rounds of legs. We'll do each side, okay? Always use the big muscles and give it the best you can, because that's where we're going to really feel it. Our bulk of our workouts in the bigger muscle groups, in that leg conditioning. Let's do a couple more. Keep going, because again, you're warming yourself up. I have my barbell, because that's my choice to do for the next exercise. It's going to be an overhead press. So, bear with, because it is tough one. I might not go as fast as you because I'm doing for power rather than speed. I'm building up. So squat. You bring the bar or your free weight to your shoulders below your chin. Quite a tight connection. So don't let the elbows flare out. Otherwise, you're going to expose your upper back. Again, a tight squat position. You're going to go into a goblet squat, and then you're pushing overhead using your core muscles. Here, push. When we're pushing, I love the fact my room isn't big enough, overhead, what we're not doing, so I'm going to come down to my knees so you can see me. We're not doing this. We're not arching, extending the back, slightly coming in front as you push up from here. Bring it in front, so you have to switch on your core, so you're not arching backwards and breaking. That'll be your sweet spot as you arch your spine. It's going to be that pinch, that lynch, if you're going to go backwards and break that position. So you want to be here, using all the muscles in your upper back and shoulders. Now, if you're finding that your weight is quite heavy, break it down, do 5, 6 in a row, take a breather to create the form, because we're going to do it for a minute. Remember, I said 2 rounds for this one. Then your final exercise is your curtsy lunge, back to the discs. We know this one, we've been doing this one. So my disc is on this leg here. I go behind to the curtsy and up to the center. So one side only. So again, we're going to do this twice through because we need to get both sides. Touch down, glide behind and come back up. Glide behind. So you've been practicing this for the last couple of weeks, so we're experts in this one. You know, particularly when we're practicing not coming all the way back up and really intensifying it. At the moment, we're doing the full range of movement. So we slide, put your weight slightly in it to draw it over and back. Now, side view and switching legs if you can. Feet hip width apart, facing forward. Take one leg behind, sink into your squat to side lunge position here. Keep your tummy in tight, as always with those core exercises. We do a couple more, and then what we're going to do now is go live on that one. Then I will walk you through the next 2 rounds. So again, once we've got this under our belts, jog, move on the spot, whatever you need to do at the moment, okay? Because again, this is the first time explaining to you. It's going to take a little bit of time. Go for the effort in between. So we're going to do 2 rounds, a minute each round with a 15-second transition time. Okay, so let's get our timer set up, the interval timer. Those are exercises. We're doing 2 rounds, a minute each round, one side on one leg, and then the second time round, the other side, okay? So pretty straightforward, shouldn't be too much of a mess up for me here. Okay, so as soon as I press this, we need to get started. Your first exercise is the skater squats. You can use a heavier weight, but you need to sit down into it. So I'm going to press start, get your squat position. So 5, 4, 3, 2, so we go 3. So our first round, I'm going to go nice and light to get the movement first, make sure I'm not feeling in the back. Squat low, weights come up. Tighten the ab, once you've got it, increase that movement. Sit into it and control that swing on the upper part of the movement as you sit down. Brace your center. "20 seconds. Using the gliders in a moment. Eventually, when I get back into the swing of this, yeah, pun intended, I'll be using a slightly heavier weight. Till then, I know my limits. So you've got your lunge position. Lunge out, in. Glide out, and in. So nice control position, and in. So we've got our barbell coming up after the squat, overhead. Again for a minute each time, for 30 seconds. The idea is to get as many reps out, particularly on the light exercise when you're using your body weight. It's more about the rep. When you use heavier weight, it's about the form, okay? So we're going to come into that squat press in a moment. Make sure you get down low, keep that full range. 10 seconds. And there's the buzzer. Squat press. Get your weight set up again. Remember, you're going to goblet position. Bring your weight under your chin, elbows forward. Brace those abs, tighten up, push out, breathe. Last few seconds. Transition. Curtsy. So remember which leg you're starting on. Curtsy lunges. 3, 2, 1. From behind. Forward. Or you just take it into that step behind to curtsy lunge instead of gliding. Halfway. Easy compared to what we were doing last week, isn't it? Yeah, you hear me. But we're going to build up. Remember, this is not the pinnacle yet. Excellent. Back to the beginning. Skier squats coming up. Sitting into it. Second round. Remember, working the other side of the body. This is the first week, so we're building back into it again, guys. So not too wide apart. Sit back into it. Don't grip your toes, weighten your heels and ball of the foot here as you send your heels back and your hips back, toes start to lift, press down for the ball of the foot as you do that. Try and keep the weight by the side of your body, not behind you. So this is not good. Okay, here. Use your glutes to stop that movement and transferring too far behind you. Over stimulating pelvis movement there. Get into those hips and legs. Excellent, speed up if you can. As long as you've got control, shoulders back, chest comes forward, squeeze. Slide out, side lunge coming up other side. So get ready, slide out at the side. Hot in here, but I have done a warm up already. So sliding out, 5 seconds. So supporting leg, toes slightly outwards, and then slide and drag back. So you're pushing, gliding in, using your inner thighs, abductors, and abductor. Keep down low, get your bum back. Get down lower, guys. Come on, push your bum back. Work harder in that inner thigh to drag that foot center. All the way in. Come on, Kimmy. Cheating myself. Squat press coming up. Squat press. Transition. Feeling it. Really sweaty today. Done a warm up on the bike, feeling it already. So tight position, shoulders back, elbows forward, squat press. Use your core. 1, 2, 3. Gosh, that's hard. Okay. For your interest, I'm pushing just over 20 kgs on that one. It's not heavy until you do that overhead extension. Now, glide, curtsies. 1. Biggest heart rate up. 2. The next transition. 3. 4. Slow burner says the first one all the time, yeah? This is the first one to experience it. Feel things differently. You'll learn from experience as to how heavy or how hard you need to go next week for this. Okay, is it enough? So next coming up is butt, although we've done a little bit of butt on here. No butts, keep going. Very good. So, 10 seconds. Then we've got the next round coming up to go through again. We're going through stage by stage first of all. You're going to use your gliders, your bands, and slightly heavier weights. For this, I'm going to move the view down because we're going to be doing a lot on the floor now. So you've known this one, your bridge outs. So you're lying on your back, if you can, whatever you can underneath the feet, each side, back onto the floor. So first position is slightly toes lifted, lift up, out, in, down, up, just keep going. I want to keep you moving as we go through the next exercise, so you know where you're at. Exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, you can stay on this place if you want to, but we're going to be static. I'm going to do, again, 2 rounds, single leg, here, down, up. So you can bring your foot all the way down to support you, down, up. So you're lifting through the hips, pushing through the back of the glute here. So that's a really good stimuli. If you can't straighten the leg, keep it bent 90 degrees. So your knee is over your hip. Now switch over for practice sake. And you dip the hips. It's a short, sharp push and up, so thruster. Okay, you're lifting. And you're feeling fixing here in the core, so you're not arching your back. So when you lift up, you're lifting from the hip and pelvis, not from your rib cage. So you're keeping your shoulders on the mat and you're squeezing from the bottom. So you should be feeling tightening underneath here, particularly with that primary first move. You then have your hip thrusters. Again, depending on what kind of weight you have, I'm going to use my barbell, but for argument's sake, getting it on there, let me just show you the thruster. Weight goes in the thighs if you want one, and then you're just lifting and down. So it's quick, squeeze, drop down quick, squeeze, drop down quick. Heels in the floor, little distance from the body, squeeze, down. Squeeze at the top, down quick, squeeze, down, squeeze. So because of the nature of the muscles, you want to move that quickly and then hold at the top, okay, to get the maximum from those glutes. And the last thing you have, again, you can use your bands if you want to, is that kickback. So the band, again, I've got heavy, so it's probably not going to work for me. It's just to place it around your foot. Yeah, 1 foot flat. Again, try not to arch the back, you lift up. So this is a poor technique for me because this is far too heavy for me. So I'm going to have to find a band that suits it because I want to try and bring myself to here and then lift up and keep the other foot down. But I don't want to throw my back out. I don't want to be this jerky kind of movement. So my tummy's pushed in, so I'm feeling it from my glute. Switch sides, have a test run on that. So I need to go a little bit lighter. If you go too heavy, you're not going to get the range of movement. It's no good. So lighter is more beneficial on that one. So don't try and go bravado on me or brave and top nuts, all right? So I'm going to go for light. Okay, so those are your 4 exercises. We're going to do them back to back, a minute each, 15 seconds recovery between the sets. So without further ado, get your equipment to hand, bridge out. You've got less than 15 seconds to get yourself in set for it. 2 rounds. Your timer starts now, so you've got 10 seconds to go through it. So line on your backs. Try if I can't see myself, it suits me as well because then I can't see how awful I'm doing. 3, 2, 1. So up, back, there, setting movement. Glide from the heels, draw it in, drop the butt. Your tummy in, you drive from the hips and glutes, not arching your back. Make sure you're working evenly, that both feet are coming back. Because when I find that one leg's dominating, I lose the plate on that side. That's not as strong. You notice these things, it won't glide as easily. Remember, we're doing one side at a time. So when we move to the next exercise, one-legged bridge lift, you're going to do one side only. And you might need to take a breather and break for a minute's worth of activities. Okay. Bridge position, get set. One leg straight up or one leg bend. Use your arms to prop. Try not to lift your shoulders off the floor. Get set. Again, the emphasis is still on the back of that thigh and the supporting leg. And you lift straight up. Use your leg quite rigid, even if it's bent. Use it rigid. You're using the supporting leg to lift up and squeeze from the bottom. Try and get that knee closer to the body. So don't let it veer out because you're going to lose that emphasis on that glute. So don't let it go here. Lift all the way up, even if you're bending the knee. Twenty seconds. Five. I'm going to move the other way because I'm going to use my bridge, my glute thrust bridge. So you don't have to use any weights if you don't want to. I need to be careful not to drop it on my phone when I drop it down. So I'm going to have my chin slightly poised in, and I'm going to lift and lower. It's a slightly different mechanism for me because I'm lifting quite a heavier weight. So because I'm quite strong in my core, I find that having my chin slightly tucked in doesn't allow for my ribcage arch. You can come all the way down if you want to, that feels more comfortable. Depends on your flexibility and range of movement, but here, if I keep my chin under, slightly tucked in, I get more on my glutes. But that's personal for you. You just want to keep your heels pushing in, push and lift from the floor with your heels. It's a small movement, it's not a massive movement because your emphasis is on your glutes lifting up, not pushing your hips forward, you're lifting from your glutes. Brilliant. And around your toes. Back of the legs, again, one side only. Quad canes, one foot to the floor. And then we've got our first round almost done. So again, tighten the abs, take your tailbone under and just push from the heel as you lift. Make sure you're anchoring down from the other leg by keeping that shin on the floor. Push down through the shin. It's about holding at the top there, the position they're holding there. In the right angle at the knee as you push up, halfway. We start all over again. Oh, come on, Kimmy. I've done some deadlifts before I did this, so I'm making my excuses now, but I have worked quite heavy legs. My word, that sent it home for me. I don't know about you guys, but ouch, 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 ouch. So back onto your heels. For that lift bridge push out for a minute. Round 2, remember. Should be getting the feel of this now. Lift up, out, in, down. Quick movement. Again, we prepared this movement. We just haven't added the other ones onto it. Twenty seconds. Get that full extension of range of leg. Oh, I've always got to finish the number right. Into your bridge position then. With your weight set. I'm going to do it this way. Hopefully get up in time again, not dropping on my throwing bone. Heels up. Don't come off the screen, I'm sorry. You don't really need to see me on this one, do you? I just need to be on the carpet where I've got a bit more grip, is all. Try not to let the knees flay inwards. Again, you can always use a band if you'd rather. So you can have the bands around the top of the knees, the lower part of the thighs. And as you lift up, you can bring your knees apart, but keep your feet on the ground and your butt squeezed. And then you just bring in those knees slightly at an angle as you lift the legs apart and out as you lift. 20 seconds. Single leg lift. Have we done that one? Single leg. I think I've done that the wrong way around. Hey, who cares? Single leg lift. We'll get it all done. So other side, I don't remember which one it was. I was working that side, wasn't it? Single leg lift up and down. 2, 3. And then remember, keep that angle of the leg. So you're switching off the hip flexor to do the effort. And the quads aren't taking over, so you need the glutes. The angle of where that leg is coming from the hip. That placement is going to make all the difference in this side. Halfway. Oh, I do struggle with this one. This is my weak side. Oh, I mean, I'm going to give up. I'm going to use my arms to push. Get that full extension. 15 seconds. Chop around, feet. I'm getting sticky sweaty. That kind of sticky sweatiness now, which is delightful. This is when I didn't think about the hard surface of my knees. So I'm sorry. This other side, extend, and again, up through the heel. So other leg, shin to floor. I'm going to try and get that angle of that heel coming upwards and not letting that leg go all over the place. So pulling your abs, tuck your tailbone under, push your supporting leg shin into the floor to gain control over this movement. It's tough. Your head up, don't let it hang forward. Think about that when I'm doing this form. It's really hard and keep going. Both legs are really firing up. This is the final exercise. 20 seconds. Keep your tummy in so you're working from the glute, feeling it isolating that back of the leg and the top of the thigh and that bottom. Otherwise, it ain't going to be doing any good. Setting the timer on break. One last exercise group. So pushing out to the side. Oh, I'm done in already. So do you remember we did this before? The push out and press up. So let's do alternating sides. So push out, press, center. So alternating sides. You can come up from your knees if you want. Push out, in, glide down. So make sure you have slightly wider apart so you're not coming over and shunting your weight to the center there. That's exercise number 1. Remember this one, push the arm extension, come from the box position here. So to make it harder, you're here, keeping your tailbone tucked under, not arching your back. Extend in, out, push the floor. Again, extend. What we're not going to do is let our body go travel with it. So we're not doing this kind of movement. Look at from in front of you. How much control I have over my body. I'm not letting it twist and dropping my shoulder. I'm tightening up from my core and extending my arm out. So I'm taking the whole length of my body from back of the thighs forward. And I'm sliding out. So exercise number 2. Leg bear. Here. One leg in, drive under, push out. You can do the other side. Keep your abs in tight, hips level, and you're dragging that knee as close under your chest as you can with the arch in your back. So you're keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. Or you're going to work it a little bit harder. Straight out from the heels. You can't drop from the middle. You're keeping the box position, bulldog position coming out. That is 20 times harder. Dipping it, hipping and feeling your lower back. Do the single leg, alternate it. Cool. Then our final exercise is your crossbody mountain climbers, and then we are done. Okay, so crossbody mountain climbers, same thing, mats, feet on your little pad areas, cross, core. Can you see them coming across and under? So let's see this view. Front view. Bring the hip and the knee underneath. Now, those of you who can't go on the floor, halos, side bends, halos, side bends. Yeah, cool. So, or any of the other exercises that you want to revisit again, Carol. Okay, so let's do it. First round, push up to the sides. I'm going to do my back to you because I like to have my knees on a nice comfy carpet. Are you ready? Or normal push-ups or push up on the wall if you'd rather, Carol. Okay, let's get set. See how pathetic I am from this viewpoint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Halfway. Twenty seconds. Whoa. Next exercise. Bridge position, extend the arms out, so arm extension from the plank, or bridge position. Or box position, sorry. I'm feeling it. So tighten the tummy up, drop tuck turban under. The further away the arms are, the harder you're going to work. So extend 1, extend 2. Slightly grip your placement, your glider. So you're gripping it to give you a bit more control. So again, don't lift your hips. Extend from the body, extend, reach. Head up, tighten your abs because it's going to get you nice and tight from that core. Don't let it drop too much. Anti-rotation. Little grip from the fingertips. Do cupping. Gives you a bit more glide. A little bit more work here. 10 seconds. Again, if you bring your hands a little bit close underneath you, it works a bit harder. Brilliant. Woo. Bears, single legs or double. So, I'm going to come down as my forearms, feet down. So you've got single or double, so you're going to go singles. That's tough. Doing doubles. Ten seconds. My shoulders are giving in more than anything else. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a prop to do it on, maybe a chair to rest. I'm trying to think what I've got. On to the next exercise. It's my shoulders that are struggling. So the next one is across and under. Do it with the glider or without. Almost there now, so 1. Or you can do your side bends. You've got your halos. Take your hip through and you're under. Keep going. It's my shoulders. Keep going. 20 seconds. Let me think. So I'm going to support my shoulders on it. I'll do 10 more seconds. Just remember, maybe my kids are to carry. You don't know? I certainly do. Okay, final round. We're almost done. Push up to press out. I'm going to do press ups only this time instead of doing sliders. You can choose what you want. We've got one more round all the way through. So I'm completely up to you. I'm going to do push up. So I'm going to go push, step in, to the side, step in. So you've got the 2 variants. If you don't have the gliders, you step and center. Your tummy in, aim for your chest to ground. Seconds. Last few seconds. Make sure you get each side. Oh. Slide out gliders. Be cool. Again, really bracing those abs. Or you can do halos if you want to. Oh man, I got weaker this week. I'm sure we did this last couple of weeks and had no problems. Now this week I'm feeling it. Let's extend. I don't think I feel too well today, which might be the other reason. So if I haven't eaten properly, usually I've had a really good hearty meal. I've had time to digest, time to get things done. It's been a really mad hot day today. It really does come out in the wash when you're underperforming if you're not eating the right fuel. And that's talking the whole day. The whole day will come into it. If you're going to do a decent workout, don't even get me started at these people I've just had a rant on the Facebook page about. On my private Facebook page, because I do it public, I'll probably upset a few people about this bloody gimmick. A tea bag that will help you beat your metabolism. Will it now? If that were the case, we'd all be taking it, none of us would be fat, and they'll be selling it for a lot more money. Run over. Do you know this? Anyway, let's not go there because I could get angry. So let's go. Next round. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Either two together. Single, which is a lot easier. So why am I not doing that? Because I like the challenge. Knees underneath hips. 20 seconds. Keep your back straight, tummy in. Push out through your heels as you extend out. Last round coming up then. Couple of seconds. Arms feeling it. This slide under or side. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's do it. Come on, Kimmy, you can do the last round. Okay, let's use the arms. Let's do this. Don't watch me. Get yourself done. I'm so inspirational today, aren't I? Come on. 20 seconds. Oh, not gonna lie, I'm very grateful that's over with. I feel like I've lost my strength today. But that said, maybe it's harder than I thought it would be. Let me know your feedback on that one. Have a bit of a stretch, and then we'll be on our way, won't we, my lovelies? Arms over the head, hands behind you. Give me some feedback. What did you like? What didn't you like? What was tough? What was easy? Did you need some adaptations to it? Go.